Welcome back, folks, to Pigs TV. I'm your host, Pigs, as usual. So, we've got some new timber board today. There's a little confession that I want to make before we start this, I would say, new series. All the other ones are still going ahead, but in, I would say, late 23. I was looking for some games for the channel to start in 24, and I came across Timberborn. So as you do, and as you might be even doing here, you go off and you watch some playthroughs of it and say, oh yeah, that might be good for the channel. I think I quite enjoy that. Anyway, so I watched an hour, and then went on to Steam, bought it. Never thought no more about it. Then obviously in 24, when the lakes started, I went and watched the same person. Now this person, I won't mention the name, but it's not their sort of thing. They're a strap rappers. So, but so you imagine, I don't know whether he just started it or the second set of plays he'd done. And so I was watching that. So obviously he didn't know everything. So I was basing what I knew this time off that hour's play. So, the things that happened recently, I wasn't too happy. And I thought, I really like this game. I put it in the same ilk as Factorio and them sort of games. And I every time I play it, I so much enjoy it. And that's what you really want, and hopefully that comes through in the videos, and hopefully you will enjoy this play from now on. So and then I decided recently, I thought I want to know more about this game, so I've done a lot of research and a lot of messing about off camera and sort of other things to try and learn. So that's basically what I'm trying to bring now. Now all of the ones are still going to be running, and obviously we're going to fix or update them better and go through and whatever else, but I wanted to start a new one. So it's not really a beginner's guide, because it's just stuff that I found out that I'll go through that I didn't know. And even looking at other people's stuff, they didn't really go through it either. So it's only like, I think, oh, I didn't know that, or oh, I didn't know that. That would have been better in the game. I would have done that, much better. So anyway, so after this little intro, let's start a new game. So we'll do Folktales. You can always do Iron Teeth and Folktales. I've not done Iron Teeth yet, but I have watched a few Iron Teeth playthroughs. But I quite like the Folktales. We started with them, so we'll carry on with them. We've obviously been in the other ones been doing these, so we'll skip through a few more. Now I did have a look at Cliffside and Duroma, and I thought this would have been a lot more difficult for me because I'm still, I've only done 60 odd hours. So I thought, well, we'll start with the Cliffside. It gives us a bit more, movement around, and we'll go from there. So I thought, oh, okay then, we'll do that then. We can have custom maps. I've got no mods in this yet, and obviously, if you played this game before, you think, oh, you should see a decent mod. Now, I know there is one mod that some other people play, which is the ladders, which is an add-on which is different to the steps. The steps will obviously take up more room. The ladders go vertical, and that's a mod. That's quite a decent mod. But I just wanted to play it because obviously, if you've started this from nothing, you don't know anything. So it's a bit easier to just start it with nothing, and then in other places we can add things on. I don't know whether I can actually go back and add this to this game. I don't think you can do that. But anyway, let's carry on. So then we got like easy, normal, and hard. Now I'll just do the center, but we've also got this customizer, and I didn't obviously pay much attention to this to start with. You're starting adults, you can change your children. It's not so much that. It's more of the droughts and the bad tides. So you can turn off a bad tide here, you can do the chance of a bad tide and how many days the bad tide's going to be. And obviously that will come later on. Really, you've got, I suppose, 3 sets of water features or watering sense to worry about in Timberborn. And it's not really 3, it's 2, but I class the third one as you've got, firstly, you've got no water, so it's still water generated. You've got the normal water, which they drink and do whatever, and then you've got what they call this bad tide. And that's the one that you don't want them to go in, as otherwise they can die and get infected, and that's the end of it. So that's a bit about that. I obviously haven't gone through a lot of the things because I don't fully know everything. You know what I mean? With only been 60 hours, but I never looked at that before, and I thought if you've never looked at it, you can mess with it, or if you know what the individual parts are. So let's load this up and let's get into it, shall we? But yeah, it's an absolute fantastic game. So I'm going to call it BeaverBrook. Apparently, it's a hotel in Surrey in England. Or it comes on YouTube. I didn't really know. I just decided to call it that. I was thinking what sort of names, and I just thought, well, it's BeaverBrook, that'll do. So anyway, let's do a pause and let's suss out, what we've got then. So we've got some bad tide here, as we can see coming down. So we don't want the beavers in that. We've got the good water here, and we've also got the we've got these. So these are the water source. I haven't got dead mode on, but I think these are 1, 1, and 1. So that's 3 coming out there. So we'd need to do something with this eventually to, make the water better or whatever, hold it in, basically. I mean, we could obviously dam something up eventually and maybe, or maybe send water here to dam this up and send this water underneath, or the forktails have a thing where you can cap this off. But the trouble is the forktails is different to the iron teeth. If we cap this off, that's it. We don't get it again. Where the iron teeth can open it up at their discretion. So that's something we have to be aware of, and other things. We've also got this little depression here, which we could put water in, put a water dump, which is something I didn't even know that you could do. It's another thing, but we'll go through that. So this is all maps have a little starting, and that's where the developers decided to have our little, I don't know what they call it, to be honest, a district centre. Imagine, real beavers in their own nest, or I don't know what they call it. I can't remember what they call it for a real beavers. But we've also got some metal here. We've also got some metal up there, which we'll need later on in subject work. We've also got a mine, and that does really later on injure the beavers as well. So we've got another metal here. So we really need to look at trying to get all this metal before we even think about the mine. So, as I say, let's get into it. So I've got it on pause for now. So we really need, what we're worried about is, we've got some berries here, so we'll send some over to get some of them. And if we're lucky, we'll get, we get cycles. So I would say do a cycle as of a weekly or a monthly or something like that. It's not a full month, but it's a part of a overall days, and then we get up to, I don't know whether is it 13 or 15 days maybe, or it might even be 20 something days. But we'll definitely get some sort of bad tide probably within 10 or 11 days if we're unlucky. We might get it in less, but hopefully we don't want it in that. So we've also got here our wood, so we haven't got a lot of wood, but we can get round here, fortunately, so we can walk around here to get this wood here, and we can walk down. So that's going to be one of the first things that we need to look at. So paths. So let's just path this up around. It looks quite nice. We also want to. It's been a little while, so gathering. We'll need to get the wood to basically plant some stuff eventually, but we need to get that as fast as we can. I'll put a couple here because obviously we want to try and get as much in as we can, as fast as we can, because we've only got so long before the this bad tide will get us. And further on in the game, you'll see this, obviously, because this is close to the district, and that's the district's view at this precise moment, which we can extend by going out, but only so far. And the paths will go different colour. They'll go like an orange and then red, and then that's the further away that you are. So we've got that for now. We'll also want a water pump. So we want to have the water pump as close as we can up to now. And how I need to rotate that. I was thinking, what's that? At the moment, we'll send it there, so it's close enough. We want to have some storage. So we want to have. We've only got little tanks at the moment. As you can see, we could unlock stuff. We don't have any inventor. Nothing up here, which again we'll go through soon. So we'll just put a couple of. We've only got so many logs, you see, and we've only got so many. We haven't even got any, so we've got to sort that out. So we're gonna get. I'm gonna pause. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this one. Now, this is something I didn't know to start. Now, this is a construction, so how fast you want it to construct it, and this is the work. I used to put this down and assume that the beaver would actually go out from there, but it's not. So this is up here, and it's never really been fully explained as far as I could see. Is obviously play means it's running, it will build, it will do whatever it needs to do. But if we do this now, which is the pause, in other words, it won't build, it won't do nothing. In other words, it's basically there, but it's a bit like a blueprint. If you've ever played Factorio, it's a bit like a blueprint. It's there, but the game doesn't know that it's there. Or it takes up the space of the game, but the game doesn't build it, that sort of thing. So we'll pause that one. We'll also pause this one, and this one, because we haven't got any wood. So what we need to do is we need to go out from here, and we need to get a lumberjack. So we need actual wood to get this started. Because otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. And we've only got a certain amount of time. I know this is taking a little longer than what it would normally, but it's important to go through these things. So people actually know. So they're going to come out and come around now and build this. I'll put it on second speed just to get it going a bit faster. Right, and then we'll get somebody out to go and start munching on these, and that's what they can see at the moment. So. Really what we want to do, we want a what are you complaining about? Nothing. Oh yes, that's another problem. I was thinking, why is it not working? So we now need to cut. We need to set the trees to be able to be cut. I think it'll only do this top at this moment. Yeah, because that's what I've cut. I will be going down. I'll get all these to cut as well. You'll start munching. They're dead trees, but they're still worth something. We'll need a somewhere to store this, I think. We'll just get a small pile. I suppose not. Actually, it would be better. What it would it'd be better to put it closer for now. Put 2 there. And we'll set it to, so in here, we can set it to all sorts of different things. We want to supply or obtain. We can set that to accept. It doesn't really matter because it's only the start of the game really. So we're gonna need some. And I'll put these on pause. So now he's gone off because I've got him to accept, and now he's going to start taking that back. So once we get to 20, that'll be full, and then I'll start to enable other stuff. Now I don't think they cost. Don't really need to set these. We can set these on as well. So I've set that one up. So now they're going back, and a beaver will sit in there as we've got Jibok, and he's gonna start eating the berries. At the moment, we haven't got a lot of food, so we need to sort of get something going. We'll also want some sort of small warehouse, possibly like there. But again, I'll set that to, and I'll set that to berries. Now they've gone to sleep. We can extend the days, but we're not going to do that at this precise moment. I want to get a lot more wood going. Because it's ancient since I sort of played this, because obviously I've been playing it from, you know, where I left off before, and right, that's a bit better. That's less. So they'll come and build that. We've got enough beavers, so that's our beavers. We've got 8 adults. We've got homeless because we need to have them in a house, and I'll go through that later. One thing about the folktales over the Iron Tooth is the folktales need houses to breed. So, and we have to be careful because obviously we have to manage either or compared to what before. So we want to try and get as much wood, but obviously we've got to be careful because we want to actually get more wood. So we need to start thinking about the inventor, which is down here. And if they've got nothing to do, which again we'll go through something, I'll put this up here. We don't want to try and put it on land that we can, you know, build food on. We want to try and get it on land that's away from it as much as we can. And we can move these later, and obviously we can go up here and try and sort this bad water, etc., etc. But we'll see what we've got for now. We need to get this. We've got 20, so let's enable that. Now that will construct. We want that in there, and we want one of these. We can enable as well. So we just put that in play. We put that in play. Missed that one. There we go. You don't really need to. I wouldn't need to because that's the only things that are going to get built. So there we go. Now he's going to start building this, because we need as much water as we can in this early game to last the first sort of bad tide or, you know, the drought. We don't know what we'll get. We'll get something. It's bound to do something. And obviously they haven't got water as well. Now they will obviously last a couple of days, but we need to make sure that they're doing this. So we'll put that down as a lower priority. We need to set that to water. I'll set this to water, but I don't want it to be built yet. And when they come out, I mean, this early, we could do 18 hours if we really wanted to. But they've got nowhere to sleep, you see, so they're sleeping on the floor. And we got -11. Now, we'll go through this as well while we wait for them to go through. So, we've got different things. What we want to concentrate on is... This well-being is actually a lot more important than you realise, and I realised when I first started it, is when they get babies, they take, as far as I'm aware, they take the well-being, what could happen at the time of their being born. So obviously the better well-being, the longer they will last as adults, which means you'll get them lasting longer. So there's them sort of things. So obviously all these sort of things that we need to do, and there's quite a lot there. A lot of these are later ones, but definitely on this well-being down here is we've got a lot. We've got a few for now. We've got the teeth and we certainly want the showers and the other things, and that's good for them, you see. So then that increases the well-being, which when they have more, they can... Oh, I haven't got the path to it. So that's why it's not going in there. Oh, no, that's not the path. That's the path. So now he's got a pump. And now we want this. As we can see now, they're going to build that. These don't cost anything to build. The lumberjacks don't cost anything to build, but obviously anything else that's that costs. And as I've got it close to the district as well, they're not moving out. Now we've also got these. Now we can increase if we've currently got 9 adults, 3 children are coming through. We've got 1 in employment, so we could, if we really wanted to, we can't increase that, but we could increase the builders to another one. Now they're still obviously they've got no storage, which is what I wanted them to have. So now we'll enable this, and we'll get them to build that. It costs 2 logs, but we've got 20 logs because they're just taking it back. You see, they don't really know what to do with it. So that way, they'll put the logs into here, and then they'll take them from there and put them in there. I also want now to enable this, and that's going to cost me 3 logs, and I need to do a path from there. So these things are quite, like I said, these are quite important. As you can see, I didn't even know, like I said, every time that I built these things, and the original one, the other 3, I didn't know anything about pausing or play or whatever. I just played it as is. Where do we really want... What we've got to consider is, what do we want? Where do we want to put our forest for now? Oh, actually, I need to... I didn't do the cutting, so I need to say this is cutting, don't I? And let them cut that down. Right, so I've done that. So now they'll cut that down. Obviously, they're asleep. What I want to do is I'm going to need some inventors here, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to get the science in time, and then it's going to be the end of the game. So if I just build them here, for now, I can move them. That's why I build it, because I'm building them on, like I said, I'm building them on land that's relatively give you a path. I think it's that one and that one. I know you can change the rotation. I think you can change by pressing the F to move it here or there. It doesn't for this, because they're gonna go anyway. We want them basically as a work priority. So I've set that to down right at the bottom, we'll do this. That's set down at the bottom. So in other words, if they've got nothing else to do, and I've got enough in there, so I've got one employed, he will start doing some inventor stuff. We need this for the forester. If we don't, at the moment, the forester is on 60. I think eventually it's going to go down to 30. But so we need 60 inventor points to be able to unlock the forester to be able to start planting trees, basically. So that's why I put 2 of them on. So at the moment, because they're not doing anything, so if there's something else to do, they will, do that. I really possibly want some more water, actually. We've got enough, so I'll enable that one. I'll probably do a bit more wood, actually. I do a couple here, but I'll pause them. Pause them. Then get to wood, because that's where the wood is at the moment. That's why I've done all this, to get them to put this down. Obviously, this here, they can get right to the end and get some berries. Now we've got to concentrate on getting some food in. Now let's pause. We've got the gathering flag. What food do we want? Let's go to the food. We've got plant crops. I always get them confused. We've got potatoes, and they need to be in a. I think it's one of the grilled ones. I think this. So they need to be in the grill, which is already unlocked. We could build carrots as well, but we're going to want, because we can get enough. If you look, we can get 1 and 4 grilled potatoes for one, I think, and that takes 1 point. So we really want to start getting some food out, because otherwise, we don't want our beavers to die. And that's in a. We want that as a farm. So where do we want this? If we just use this as a farm for now. What have we got? I won't do that. I'll put that as full, and I'll put that as down there. Because I want these, one of these or 2 of these will come out. So let's start carrying on. I will get some more water because I haven't got enough water. I'm not pumping enough water. So I also need to get some more water. So I need another water pump. Get one of them in there. And we'll rapidly... that's why I did that. So we can have 20 in there and we can also have 20 in there. We've got to be careful because we've not got this. We've also got this down here, but I haven't got the stairs. I've got to unlock the stairs to get down there to get this. And we've got the big oaks. Now these take 30 tiers, but they give us 8 logs. So that may be something that we really want to look at early on to get. And I've got full berries. So let's have some... another small warehouse. I'll put it there. And we'll have supply that. Well, no, it just doesn't really matter because it's only early days as well. Because I want them to keep. Pumping. So we're getting more water. We've got 22. I'll put some more storage down here. Eventually, I'll move the storage. It's just to get things going. Now, the inventors have come out because they've got other things to do. I've got half of what I need. See, this is the parts that I didn't really know to start with. In other words, these are running. There's no beaver in there at all. But because it's got no work for it got first, and they've got other things to do. If they get more and they've got nothing, these will get full. I can force them in there. We're almost there. We've done 5 days so far. It's all a process, and we'll get there in the end. Nothing in range, right? I'm gonna pause that. So now I've got that up and running. I always do this. I always get the wrong one. We'll go potatoes. If there's a little bit of green on, we can actually plant that. Get to there. So I'll do this of potatoes. And they'll go start planting potatoes. I'm going to need this grill going as well then. It's going to cost me... It doesn't cost me anything else, just... no, I don't really want to put it there, because that's where the... Yeah, you see. So that's what I mean. So you can adjust the door left and right. Obviously, I can rotate as well, which again is something I didn't even know. I know it sounds bonkers, but like I said, it was never mentioned, but the person itself probably didn't even fully know either. So, you know. How much water have I got? I'm going to enable that one. Because now I want to get some more water. So like I say, I cannot get any more beavers until now they've planted. I'm going to send them back down. Because once they've planted this, they'll just sit there doing nothing. And then they can go in the inventors. I don't really know where to keep... I mean, I suppose I could put the trees... I suppose I could put the trees back, couldn't I? Where they are. I mean, they're not, like... It's not that much of a problem to have them there. I mean, where's this? It's quite a large building. But I want to move it as far over to here as I could. We'll see what they do. Some of these have not actually been thingied yet. So we might actually have it here. See how that's... It might actually be by the time... excuse me. By the time this is unlocked, I'm going to have it in this corner. I don't want to get rid of that. Because then I've got no stairs to get down. I've got to keep that. That's getting built. We've got 2 going now. We've got a full water butt. So it might be worth... this is always the... I think the start is always... let me pause. Pause. And pause. So I've set them up. That's what I said. I didn't even know that. So I would just leave... Before, I would just leave these for nothing. I'll put that as a workplace, just leave it there. If they're needed, in other words, if this crop's going to grow. I could also print. What are we on about? Why did I say print? I could also get some carrots if I can actually. I always get that confused. Let's get some. Let's get a row of carrots in there. Like that. I think we can have some sunflowers don't need processing either, so there's a little bit of green on there. I will just do this for now. I might be able to get that. So they don't need processing, you see, so they'll just... I've only got one in there because once they get to a decent... what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause that. So pause that, he'll go back in the inventors. Right, oh, I've got 60. Right, I can unlock the... I'll get rid of that. I want to pick this up. This is another thing I didn't know, so I want to make sure that that's picked up and sent. Oh, they've got probably nowhere to... I'll enable both of these then. Let's go there. Let's go there. But these will get... They're sleeping again. Let me beavers. What do you want to sleep for? There's some flippy work done. I don't want to get rid of that, but what I want to do is prioritize that one. Can I prioritize that one? No, I can't. You can't do that. Oh, that's a bit of a problem. Yeah. Thought it might be. I suppose they're not thingied yet. So we've got quite a bit of wood, so that's good. I've got the water. How's it do with food? I might need some more food storage, actually. Yes, I'm going to need some more food storage. Storage. I'll put some berries there. I'll rotate here. Pause that one. Pause that one. Pause that one. I'll have that for berries. Now they can put some more in there. Oh, they haven't really got any more to get yet, but... Right, we've got full water. Let's put that one. Absolutely terrified about running out of water, so I got enough. Right, that's great. Let's pause. Rotate that. Yep. So we've unlocked that now. We'll give it a path. Probably don't need that there. Yeah, what I'll do is I'll put back the lumberjack. I'll take that lumberjack out and get that to be picked up. Here's a better way of doing it. Let's put that on planning construction. Put that on medium. We'll leave that one on there. So we'll start that off again. We're looking so far. So now we got to 0. So we just haven't got shelter. We've got enough food for them. So we've got rid of that so far in this cycle. I haven't got anything to you know, dig at the moment. I've got enough logs, so I'm gonna... Oh, I've already got that. I'm gonna set this to... Where's the potatoes then? Potatoes! Potatoes. And potatoes again. And I'll have this as the... no, that's a dandelion. It's a sunflower gone. Who's moved to sunflower? I always thought that was a sunflower, but it's not. Pine, no. It's here somewhere. I've seen it. Oh, we got the grilled. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll set to grill. And I'll set these to... I'll set one to on. I'm still doing some more inventors because I want a path. I want a path to get down there. That's going to be one of the first things I want, which is 70. Obviously, it'll allow me to get down here as well. I've got to be careful of this because this is infected, so I can't really go anywhere up there. I've got to consider also eventually having some more houses. Just little houses will do. I may put the houses down here actually, because that's where I can't build any for now, and then I'll move them. Well, this was like a... I was saying I could put them in there, but that's almost done. We want to go to plant trees. Eventually, see, pine only takes one, and I get 2 for the pine. So we'll also just replant this like so. And we'll set to replenish when dead trees. Obviously, he's not built yet, and he's built. And when he comes out soon, like I say, I want this as possibly oak or something like that. I want to definitely get down there as fast as possible. Getting that way may be a better way. But I'm going to need paths, which is I'm going to need these. So that's a platform 1. And a platform 2, and then a platform 3, which is what I'd need there. I could, I suppose... I tell you what I might do. It's not ideal, but it's the only way that I could think of. This would be resource. Unplant these. They're wood anyway, aren't they? So yeah. So they're gonna be harvested. And what I'll do is I'll put a path down here, and then I'll be able to get down there and get these berries as well. It's all food. I want to get to this oak and this lot as fast as I can. Right, what? I've got... How many storage of wood? I've got 80, so really I've got... do another path here. Let's do another storage. I mean, I could get rid of these storages. But I'd rather... Okay, you can build that one. Should have put it on pause, but doesn't matter. We'll do wood. Right, and at least now he's going to carry on. Put the bathroom there as well. Like I said, this isn't ideal. It's not going to stay there, but it's... Planks. Planks. Yes, we need planks, don't we? That's why it's not doing it. We need power. So I need the lumber mill. So the reason why I've forgotten that this needs planks to be able to put. So I've got enough logs, but I can't do any further. So that's my silly thing. But what we'll do is we'll build. Now we could get a water wheel. Plus 50 wood. Well, we've got enough wood. We could get a couple in there. It's not ideal. No, I don't think I want it there. No, it's too high, isn't it? How the hell did they get that there? It's too high because what I can't do is I can't get it in there. I'm trying to find a place where I can put the water wheel. I won't bother with the water wheel then. Because it's a real pain. I was going to bother with the water wheel, but we'll power it beaver power. We'll put it... where do we really want it? I want it out the way for now. You could argue that this isn't a great spot. I'm going to put 2 there, but I'm only going to build one of them. That one. No, that's a bad idea as well. Forgot about that. Yeesh. Because how am I going to get them actually down there? I don't want to block off this lot. That's what I'm trying to... I was going to have it down there, but then I decided I wasn't down there. I'll pass. I've done that very well. Anyway, we're almost going to be finishing this up. Let's get this just going. Oh. So I need to rotate that, because that's where the path goes. I'm going to pause this one. And I'm going to let that one be fast construction. What I need to do now is also... Now, this is something else I didn't even know either. So we've got the lumber bin. I assumed that they couldn't butt right up to here and power the... Whatever whatever they were needing, you know, the industry right next to it. But that's not true. And I didn't know that. So what I could do is... I could put 3, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause that one, because we like the center, and I'm going to leave that. In fact, actually, I could. Oh, maybe I can't then. Now I've. Probably didn't really make much of a difference, to be honest. See, I could do that, but I'll put that on the outside. I suppose it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be honest. We'll pause that one. I'll put the path. These are going to move anyway. I'll need to put that as priority. And that one can stay there. I want them to do that one, and then I want them to basically do both. Go. We're still lucky. We haven't had any sort of bad time. We've got enough water, but I'll go for another one. I've got 116, and I need 15 for that, and I need 40 for that. So I should have enough. How are we doing? We haven't got that many left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... clear them because I don't want them to be. But I'm going to put a path. On this outside. That's got 70. So when they go, I'll be able to get, and I'll be able to. What I want to do is get to these berries or some of the sorts of food. Just for now, I'm running out of berries. I've got no food whatsoever. So that's a bit of a downer. These are almost there. I'll have to turn this on. Carrots are at 90%. So we're getting there. Food's a bit of a... They're getting hungry. Which means that's slowing them down, you see. So they're at... If we look... They've got a minus 50% working speed because they've got no food. So once I get, I'm going to get 2 in it. In fact, I'm going to get all 3 in it, and that'll stop the inventor. So I don't need that running. But this doing, when this is ready, I'll enable them. That's potatoes. That's potatoes. I'll move that to carrots. I'll also enable this one as well. And that was grilled. I'll also enable that. It's getting close. It's getting close, so I'll do that one. I'll take one of them out there. I want one to come in here, you see. They're all going sleeping now anyway. Definitely need to have one in there. No recipe selected. Potatoes. There we go. Didn't realise I had to select that actually. I thought it would do whatever's available. I mean, they're not getting them yet anyway. That's nearly done. I'll put harvesting as a priority. Because that way we need to get some food in. I neglected my beavers. I'm getting that done. Right, so these are all ready. So we should be, yeah. So we got some food in. We're going down now. Let's increase them too, so I can actually. Because we haven't got anything to plant, what I'll do is I'll get rid of these because there's nothing to pick up, so I might as well use them for an inventor or anything else to keep the inventor going. Which means I should be able to put that into there and get more water as well. I'm paranoid about water, and I'd rather have too much water than not enough. I just need logs now. So they are moving a bit faster, as we see. Right then, so if we end that episode here, the first episode of a new play, and we still obviously wanting the planks to come, and they'll come in a minute once that's... We've got that ready. We just haven't got this ready yet. So this is I'll put this as a high priority construction, and also put that as high priority. It's not ideal. It should be connected, It says it's connected. And obviously I've got a second one there. This will power, hopefully, this lot together. Or it'll power some of it together. And then obviously what I'll do is, because this is on fertile land, I'll rip that off anyway. But we might have some sort of... I'd like to get up here eventually and get that watered, and then maybe move all this trees and that up there. So there we go. So we got a drought approaching in 1 day. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, it takes as somebody else uses it, it takes time to build up and take time to, build this to start with. But I hope you, if you've not played this way or if you've not seen it before, I hope you enjoyed that. And I've gone through some things that I didn't personally know to the start of the game, when, like I said before, and obviously it's so important, not just at the start, but it's also important to understand why and this and that and the other. There'll be a lot more that we're actually going to go through, but yes, I hope you enjoyed that and you come back again soon. If you'd like and subscribe, or just to say hello and comment, it's all be appreciated. And I've got to the third goal, so I've got actually another goal that I've done as well, so that's not too bad. So yes, we'll see you in the next play. Bye for now.